Sportsnet Studios World Headquarters in Spring, Texas, it's Barry on Deck, hosted by former ESPN Houston radio host and stand-up comedian Barry Laminack, starring Oliver the Cat. Written by Barry Laminack, produced by Barry Laminack, directed by, you guessed it, Barry Laminack. Featuring sports, entertainment, special guests, film sessions, and some drinking. Okay, a lot of drinking. Viewer discretion is advised. And now, here's your host, Barry Laminack.
What's up, you damn dirty deckheads? Welcome to Barry on Deck. I am your host, Barry Laminack. Thank you guys for being here. Today is Monday, November 11th, 2024. And this is episode number 866, I think, of Barry on Deck. Welcome to the show. Welcome to the program. Hey, hello. Hi, how are you? Late as shit as usual. This time, no excuse. This is my fault. I just spent all morning trying to get you guys a bunch of content. I spent zero time this weekend on the show. Most of the morning was spent not on the show. Usually I start show prep at noon. That didn't happen. And so when I started show prepping, it was about 1:40. I never start that late when I show prep. So I was like, well, we gonna start late today, boys and girls. And it's just no like, oh, it was tech problems. It was nope. It just fucking trying to get shit ready for you. So here we are. We're doing it. Good show today, hopefully. I mean, you know, you never fucking know. But tons of videos for you. Jenny, mom, going to join me today on the program. She's coming in from San Antonio, so probably going to be late if she does join. But she should be here at some point along the way. What up, Rudy Ross? Sanitize, wash hands, social distance, back the cup. Hadn't done that in a while. I see Simpa said dickhead is flagged up in here. Yeah, there's a lot of curse words. I have it auto-modded, so yeah, you're going to get curse words that are flagged. So, yeah, unfortunately, sorry about that. There are curse words. Excuse me. Boy. Oh, man. Never starts at 1:40, usually at 1:39. No, that's not true. I usually start show prepping a lot earlier, but not today. Today was different. I had other things that I was trying to get done comedy related. Usually I carve out my mornings, mid-mornings. You know, I spend some early mornings on comedy or other things, and then once noon rolls around, noon to 5, Simpus is struggling with the typing. Usually noon to 5 is Barry on Deck. That's it. Today, though, I was just trying to get some comedy shit done because... good news in a way. Well, no, I guess it is good news. Hold on. I gotta fix something here in my little program. Good news, as you know, ladies and gentlemen, your boy was working on a pretty cool little thing. I was working in conjunction with Southern Star Brewery. And we put together a comedy show that happened this past Friday. Your boy was busy this past week. Had a show Wednesday with Trey Tutson at Cap Supper Club. It was Thursday at the Improv. Friday, Southern Star Brewery up in Conroe. Saturday, I was out at the Revenant out in Sour Lake with my boy Jerry Wayne Longmire. And Sunday, went out to Bad Astronaut Brewing. Bad Astronaut Brewery. I don't know. Bad Astronaut. And did a charity event for Wheelchairs for Warriors, along with Jesse Payton and Nathaniel Amador and Jay LaFar, who came in from San Antonio. So that was fun. But the Friday show, which was the brewery at Southern Star. Yo, what up, hooligan? Boy, we hadn't seen Joshy Poo up here in a hot minute, man. Good to see you, brother. Thank you for being here, man. So basically, your boy had a big show this past weekend at Southern Star Brewery because it was kind of a test run. If they liked it, they were going to sign up for 4 shows next year, once a quarter, to try to, do some comedy. And for me, that's good because, I've been doing Hop Scholar shows since September of 2021. And it really does help your boy as far as, a gig and once a month or once every other month now at Hop Scholar. But producing a show is actually pretty good financially and just with connections and networking. And it's a good gig all around. And the show was good. I didn't have a great set, but the show went well. And happy to announce that Southern Star Brewery has liked the show. They were happy with everything. And so, yeah, they're on board and we'll be doing 4 shows next year in 2025. So I'll be meeting with them in a couple of weeks and we'll be getting down and setting a schedule for next year. So that's cool. I added another room. Now we have Hop Scholar and Southern Star Brewery. So yes, pretty cool there. So hopefully we'll have some longevity with that like we've had with Hop Scholar. That's now 2 rooms that we'll have up here on the north side that your boy will be producing. So pretty cool little deal for me. I know it doesn't mean shit to y'all, but for me, as far as comedy goes and networking and financially, specifically financially, it's a pretty big deal. So good news indeed. So that's what I was kind of working on, some stuff for that this morning. Long story short, I guess. Well, long story long. But plenty to get to. College football today. You see all the topics now. Gonna get your headlines in. Some college football. I didn't get to watch much college football this weekend, but we're gonna get into it. Texans Meltdown. We have to discuss. Need to talk about the Cowboys. Is Mike McCarthy gone? It sure seems like he probably needs to be now. I mean, it is bad. So we probably need to get into that and discuss. But there's a whole lot we need to get into, honestly. Hey, Total Dallas, thank you for resubscribing, man. Total Dallas resubscribed for 33 months, and his message was, we're still mathematically alive. And he's a math teacher. He would know. Mark, thank you for resubscribing for 27 months. Mark resubscribed with his Prime sub for 27 months. Sir, much appreciated. Heartthrob's in Florida right now, so he's kicking it and chilling. Are the Cowboys worth talking about? Oh, yeah, of course. Always. Of course. Always worth talking about. Fire Bobby. Oh, we're going to get into it. A lot of people want to fire Bobby Slowick, and I have thoughts. We're going to get into the Texans talk. Don't you worry. We are definitely going to get into it. What is happening right now? What? Hey, Asteroid Eater 311. Thank you for the follow, man. Much appreciated. Sensei Bullrog. Thank you for the shout out, homie. Much appreciated to that as well. We're going to get into it. We've got a ton to get to, and we did start late, so let's not bullshit. I do have a ton, I say, of video goodness as well. I went out and grabbed a bunch more videos for you. So, already grabbed that one twice. So we have a vast number of videos to snag and watch as well. We'll get to those throughout the week. Some of them are evergreen, so we don't have to get to them all today. We've got some that we can get to whenever, wherever. We want to win together. All right, I don't know the words. So yeah, we've got plenty to get to. Let's start with, we got a birthday today. Got a birthday today that we didn't get to last week. My boy, my dog. We're going to get to it, I promise. But we're going to start. We're going to get rolling because we have a shit ton to talk about. So let's, like we always do, let's start with your... Let me make sure I'm set up for this. Yes. Good. Let's get started with today's headlines. Come on. All right, here's your sports headlines for the day. Dana Holgorsen is taking over the play calling duties out in Nebraska. And you might know Dana, former Houston, West Virginia head coach. Matt Rule announced it on Monday. Holgorsen spent most of the season as an offensive consultant for TCU, was hired as Nebraska's offensive consultant last week. He is replacing current offensive coordinator Marcus Satterfield, who is in his second year at Nebraska. This is not about next year, Rule said of the move. This is about right now. It's unique, but it's probably what's needed, Rule added. It's the right thing. Cornhuskers are coming off a bye week that was preceded by a 3-game losing streak. They were outscored 104-44. Yikes. Nebraska's 98th in offensive SP+. So, yeah, they're 11th in the Big Ten in offense, 13th in rushing offense, and 9th in passing offense. Not getting it done, obs. So Dana Holgorsen taking over. Behan said, good, so now U of H can stop paying him. Were they really still paying him? That's wild if so. Were they really? Or are you just being facetious? Or were they really still paying him? Because that's crazy if so. I mean, that wouldn't shock me if they were. Good Lord, they were. Gosh. It's craziness. Craziness. But I tell you what, being a head football coach, there's worse jobs in the world. You know what I mean? You get to coach a football team, you make a ton of money. Now, don't get me wrong, it's long hours and it's stressful, and you go from hero to zero, and you become a scapegoat and all of those things. But when you get fired, the severance is amazing. Think about that. The rest of us, when we get fired, it's just like, see ya. You might get 2 weeks. No. Not when you're a coach. Jeez. So nice. Speaking of firings, professional transition. Speaking of firings, FSU, as you know, has just been absolutely abysmal. 1-9 this season, which says a lot about the one. Their only win this season is Cal. And Florida State, after, feeling shunned for not making the playoffs last season. You talk about opening up a can of quit. Man, if I'm Mike Norvell, not only do I fire my coordinators, I just get rid of the whole team. I wonder if a coach can enter the transfer portal. Man, if I'm Mike Norville, I'm like, hey, is that portal for everybody or is that just players? They're like, what? Put me in the portal. They're like, coach, you can't do that. Who said? Coach, you can't get in the portal. Why not? You just can't do that. Oh, what? Show me where it says I can't. I mean, it's just for students. I'm here too. I'm at this university like them. Coach, you have got so let me out. It's them or me. You know he just wants God. I mean, just abysmal. I don't know that I can recall such a fall from grace. It is just staggering. And I don't claim to be the biggest Florida State know-it-all, right? Like, I don't know how many starters they lost or how many guys graduated or went on to the NFL. So I don't know that. And it might be a lot. But it happens to a lot of programs. Look how many guys go on to the NFL at Bama and Ohio State and, Clemson and all of that. And they just continue to reload. But damn, this has been their year. Lost to Georgia Tech 24-21. Lost to BC 28-13. Lost to Memphis 20-12. Start 0-3. Beat Cal 14-9. Lost to SMU 42-16. So their first 5 games, they managed to score 21, 13, 12, 14 in a win, and 16. Then they lose 29-13 to Clemson. They lose 23-16 to Duke, 36-14 to Miami, 35-11 to North Carolina, 52-3 to Notre Dame on the 9th. Saturday. God. 52-3. I'd fire my coordinators too. I'd fire my offensive coordinator. I'd fire my defensive coordinator. I'd fire my special teams coordinator. I'd fire my outfit coordinator. I'd fire my yard coordinator. He'd be like, bro, I'm your yard guy. I don't give a shit. Get out. But I'm just here to make sure your everything matches when we put in your landscape. You're fired. His wife's probably like, baby, you fired your stylist, your clothes coordinator, gone. Anyone that coordinates anything is out of here. You know what? I'm firing me too. I'm not taking any bullshit from anyone, and that includes me. I'm out of here. I've got to go. I'm letting me go. Like, what? Can you even do that? Yes. That's just crazy, man. That would just, yeah, right. Heartthrob, he just shows up. He just starts firing everybody. He's just like, you're fired, you're fired, you're fired. They're like, Coach, that's a statue. I don't give a shit. Get him out of here. Like, Coach, that's literally Bobby Bowden. He's fired. He's dead, and that's a statue. Get him out of here. I want them all out. It's probably haunted. That's the problem. Well, I mean, you guys were in the running for national championship last year, so it can't be too hard. Get it out. We got to make some changes around here. From now on, we're changing the name of this school. We're no longer Florida State University. We're now State Florida University. We're SFU. We're switching it all up. Everything's on the table, people. We've gotten our ass handed to us. I mean, the God. He's just panicking. Heartthrob, thank you for the 250 bits, man. He said, afternoon, fam. Just got back to the house from Florida. Good to be home. Yeah, boy, you want to talk about Heartthrob, you're bad luck. You are the shittiest luck in the history of luck. I don't think it's a coincidence that Heartthrob, our Heartthrob, goes to the state of Florida. You can see it right there, right there. Just got back from Florida. Every team in the state of Florida that played sports this weekend lost. Coincidence? I don't think so. Huh? Like nobody in Florida won. Nobody. I'm just saying, Heartthrob, you go to Florida and every professional or college sports team in Florida loses. So now said FSU, we're now the scout team for Miami. Well, they lost too. Boy. So, yeah. Mike Norvell has fired both of his coordinators. Man, what a shit show. What an absolute shit show. Bobby Bowden is rolling in his grave, I'm sure. Oh yeah, I gotta look. Did the Magic play this weekend? Because I just saw that. Amos said, I mean, only one was really trying to win. I guarantee you the Dolphins are like, whew, thank God we got Monday Night Football. Man. Yeah. Yesterday. Oh, shit. Yesterday, Orlando won. So this must have been on Saturday. Well, no, that was later in the day. Because this was airing during Sunday Night Football, they said it. It was during halftime of the Lions-Texans game. So I'm guessing that Orlando won, and so that's what it was. Yeah, because Orlando ended up winning 121-94 over Washington. So, yeah. And the Heat won. Well, there you go. Well, there you go. There goes that theory. But I think every other team, Panthers won Saturday night. Well, okay. Well, and then I don't know what the hell Maria Taylor was talking about on Sunday Night Football. I'm going to write her a sternly worded letter because she was just wrong on every account. Jesus, making me look like a damn fool over here, Maria. All right, here's some more headlines for you. Utah AD Mark Harlan was fined $40,000. $40,000. That's a lot. He was fined $40,000 for criticizing the Big 12 refs. Because he felt like the game was stolen from him. And now, again, I didn't get to watch this game, but this is what he said. He said the game was, quote, absolutely stolen from Utah, and he was, quote, disgusted by the professionalism, end quote, of the Big 12 officiating crew. Harlan took the podium in the interview room after the game specifically to address the officiating, a rare move for an athletic director. Big 12 fine is considered stiff, as the three athletic directors' fine of note in the past decade were all $25K. Big 12 Commissioner Brett Yormark said in the statement that the comments, quote, irresponsibly challenged the professionalism of our officials and the integrity of the Big 12 Conference. Yormark added, quote, there is a right way and a wrong way to voice concerns. Unfortunately, Mark chose the wrong way. Accordingly, this violation warrants a public reprimand and financial penalty. Uh, in a statement Sunday night, Harlan acknowledged that there are more appropriate times and avenues to express concern. Quote, my comments came after having just left our team locker room where our student athletes were hurting and upset. University of Utah is proud to be a member of the Big 12 Conference, and we gotta hate when they walk it back. I hate it. See, I doubled down. I don't give a shit. I doubled down. Stand your ground, Mark. Don't kowtow to the Big 12. Stand your ground. Be a man, Mark. Be a man. Says University of Utah is proud to be a member of the Big 12 Conference, and we look forward to working with our peers to continue to enhance the league. BYU, Coach Siddick, and their coaches and student athletes are having a terrific season, and we wish them the very best. It says the night's most controversial call was a holding call on Utah's Zimia Vaughn, which came with 1:29 left and took away a fourth down sack that would have ended the game. Instead, BYU used the penalty as a springboard for a game-winning drive that was capped off by a 44-yard field goal. Harlan also took issue with the Big 12. We were excited about being in the Big 12, quote, but tonight I am not. We won this game. He said he'd talk to Yormark. This was not fair to our team. I mean, I wish I had the whole quote because he went ham on him. He was like, we were excited about getting here and this place sucks. We hate the Big 12. They stole it from us. Screw BYU. Screw the Big 12. Screw the Big 12 commish. Screw the Mormons. Wait, we're Mormon too. But whatever. You know what I mean? I bet Brigham Young didn't even like them. Whatever. He was pissed. But I just hate that he walked it back. Just stand your ground, bro. If you hated it, you already paid the fine. Why kowtow? Unless it was a negotiation. We're going to fine you 80. And then maybe he was like, well, what if I apologize? Well, it'll be 40. Well, okay. I'll just go say I'm sorry then. Maybe that's what it was. Exactly, Alex. Say it with your chest, Mark. Man, fuck the Big 12. That'd be 40 grand, please. I mean, it's cool. It's, I'm just playing, man. God, y'all can't even take a joke. God. Maria Taylor can do no wrong. I thought said Maria Taylor got me catching strays for taking a work vacation. That's funny. She didn't cover the Panthers. Yeah, that's funny. Spoon says a delegate from the Big 8, we gladly say, don't let the door hit you where the Mormon Lord split you. That's funny. That's super funny. Yeah, Spoon, don't be coming in here thumping your chest about the Chiefs. I saw your post. I saw you come in with that. And still, shut up, Spoon. Shut it up. Look at that. Look at that disgusting. Bro, you know what the Chiefs are, Spoon? And we're going to get to this. I just need you to know this, Spoon. The Chiefs are the Miami Hurricanes of the NFL. I just need you to know that. That's it. The day of reckoning is upon them. I'm here to tell you right now, Spoon. I'm going to tell you right now. Right now. I'll say it right now. This today. Mark it. Bookmark it. Mark it. Clip it. Write it down. Put it in your diary. Journal it. Record it with your phone. But the Chiefs ain't going to the Super Bowl, much less winning the Super Bowl. It ain't happening. They have narrowly escaped game after game after game. They are not the same dominant Chiefs that they have been in the past. Listen, I'd rather be lucky than good. True. That's a saying. Yes. It's a dumb one. It's a stupid one. You know who says that? People that get lucky and that aren't good. I'd rather be good than lucky. You can count on good. You can't count on luck. Now, the only thing that changes is if Patrick Mahomes starts figuring things out, because he has not been playing well. I mean, but the offense has been erratic. Yes, the defense has been good, but they should have lost to Denver. They should have lost several games. They went through it last night on Sunday Night Football. They were a tippy toe, from a touchdown. I mean, they were a fourth down try. I mean, there was just, I think they said that they were like one play in 5 different games from losing. They could easily have 5 losses on their record. So they're not the same Chiefs that we're used to. It doesn't mean that they can't get it back, but based off of 9 games, they're not a Super Bowl team. They're just not. They're the Miami Hurricanes of the NFL. And look what happened to Miami this weekend. Speaking of, unbeaten Indiana rises to number 5 in the AP poll. And we will take a look at that right fast. And by the way, Jenny's mom is patiently waiting in the green room. We're going to get through college football in this AP poll, and then I'm going to bring her in. And then when we're done with Jenny's mom, we'll hop back into some more headlines and get through some NFL talk. But I wanted to get through these headlines before we get to that. But here is the AP poll. Oh, let's see here. Here's the AP poll that just came out after this crazy, wild and crazy college football season or Saturday. What up, Dre? Good to see you, pimp. Oregon's remains at number 1. Ohio State moved up to number 2. Texas up to number 3. Penn State up to number 4. Indiana has moved all the way up to number 5. 10-0. 10-0. Tennessee is at number 6. BYU 9-0 at number 7. Notre Dame moves up to number 8. Alabama number 9. Ole Miss number 10. Georgia falls 9 spots to number 11 after their loss to Ole Miss. And we'll get to some other stuff about that. Number 12 is Miami. They lost as well. Number 13, Boise. Number 14, SMU. So they all fell. Number 15, Texas A&M. Army moved up 2 spots. It remains undefeated at number 16. Clemson moved up. They're number 17. Colorado. Look at Dion. Look at Dion. Got the Buffs at number 18. Who'da thunk it? Nobody's been paying attention. Nobody's been talking about them. But here they are. Here they are. Now, granted, the entire Sanders family almost whooped a Texas Tech ball boy's ass, but that's beside the point. Washington State, number 19. Kansas State 20. LSU falls 7 spots to 21. How are they still even ranked? I don't get it. Number 22, Louisville. Number 23, South Carolina. Number 24, Missouri. And number 25, Tulane. Those last 3 were not ranked in the AP Top 25 coming into this week, and now they are. So there you go. There's your complete rankings. Others receiving votes: Iowa State, Arizona State, Pittsburgh, and Louisiana. And UNLV. Dropped from the rankings: Iowa State, Pittsburgh, and Vanderbilt. Yeah, Dre, ball boy had no business trying to grab that ball. Yeah, I haven't even looked to see if anybody reacted, but I went out and facetiously left a comment Um. Uh-oh. Yeah, I went out and left a comment. I was like, this is just thuggish behavior. Look at this. Thuggish behavior. You believe this thug? Look at him. Somebody needs to do something about this. NCAA needs to step in. This is just thuggish. This ball boy was out of line. Because everybody was assuming I was calling the Sanders kids thugs. They were. This is ball boy's fault, bro. How you just gonna step in and slap the ball out of that man's hand like that? It's a grown-ass man, son. What you doing? But yeah, there's your AP Top 25, man. Dion rolling. I got a video with Dion. It's absolutely hilarious. You guys are going to love that. Stick around. It's good times. But right now, ladies and gentlemen, you saw it change. Look down there. What does that say? What does that say? It's time. Well, I thought it was going to be later. I thought she wasn't going to make it. But back from the River City. Back from the Alamo City. Back from, I don't know, Tortilla City. I don't know what else is it called. What's all the names for we'll ask her. It's the greatest mom in the history of the world. It's the most beautiful woman in the world. The sweetest woman in the world. And she's here with us like she is every single week to talk shenanigans and have a great time. Ladies and gentlemen, please help me welcome to the program. Jenny is mom, everybody. Hello, mother. How are you?
I'm fine. What an introduction.
Well, I try to, I'm a professional, Jenny. I try to spice it up for you. Yeah, you did. What were you out there hanging with Pat, your best friend?
Yeah. Well, actually, I had to go out there and look at some property. And so I took the opportunity for us to stay with Pat, and we had a good time.
That's good.
Until the game last night. Oh. They're big Texan fans like we are, and that was real disappointment. Jeez. Most people in San Antonio are Dallas fans, but they're in Helotes.
I think
most people, they're from Houston, so
most people outside of Houston are Cowboys fans in the state of Texas.
Yeah, they haven't done a very good job. They could have done more to get a fan base in San Antonio. I know they did go in east, Beaumont, that way. But they didn't do a very good job in other cities around that don't have a football team.
Well, part of the problem was when the Oilers vacated, the Cowboys, stepped in and marketed well and did what they needed to do. And that was it.
Look at them.
Yeah. I have to update the peoples because I know they think that I have forgotten. And I messaged you this week because it was Battle Red Day or Battle Red.
Oh,
it was Battle Red game. And I had promised you for your birthday all the way back in May that I would get you a Tank Dell jersey.
I'm a very patient person.
Yes, you are. You're a hell of a patient woman. And I said you wanted a Tank Dell jersey because he went to U of H. And you didn't want, the normal, typical like CJ Stroud or whatever. And you didn't want to get Stephon Diggs because we don't know if he's going to be around next year.
Right.
So we decided we wanted to get, you wanted a Tank Dell jersey, but you wanted it in red because U of H and all that.
That's my favorite color. Yeah.
Been really hard to find. Finally, they were uploaded and online at the Texans shop on NFLshop.com, and I go and I find them, and they're sold out. As soon as I find the sons of bitches, they're sold out. Immediately, I text her the link. I was like, Mom, I found them. Is this what you wanted? She's like, love
Everybody
it.
was waiting. Everybody's waiting for those red Tank Dell shirts.
They had all like the sizes except what she wanted. She was like, I need a medium. I was like, cool. Shit. They're sold out. She was like, damn it. So,
did they have a large?
No. Now all they have left is 2XL and 3XL.
Oh, well.
But I signed up for the list.
Mexican food, I might be in a 3XL.
I signed up for the list to have them like alert me when they're back in stock.
I can't believe. Wow. Well, maybe because they sold out so fast, they'll feel like, boy, that was a great product. We need to redo that.
I hope
Let's
so.
hope.
I mean,
You can use it for a Christmas present.
it's crazy. I may just have to go to Temu and get you a bootleg one.
Oh,
You won't know the difference. You won't know. You
Nah.
won't know. He's got a whole. I didn't even know Tank Dell has a whole website of his own. I looked
He
on there.
does.
Yeah, I went to his website to see if he had anything. It's
I
just,
did not know that.
yeah, it's tankdellofficial.com, but he doesn't have like a red jersey or jerseys. He's got his own logo, but he doesn't have anything like what you want. It's not a Texans jersey. It's all Tank Dell jerseys. So, yeah.
How many yards did he end up getting last night?
That's
Not a lot.
good question.
He was on my fantasy team. He didn't get me very many points last night.
No, well, yeah. I mean, there's a tell of two halves. That's for
Clarence
damn
kicked
sure.
my butt again.
Huh? Clarence whooped your ass.
Clarence kicked my butt. Yep.
Well,
Anyway, that game, that was a
let's see.
disappointment. Man.
Box score. Oh, what the shit is this? Oh, I hate when this does this. Let me see here. Box score. Tank Dell had 5 catches for 39 yards. He was targeted 9 times. That's the most targets of anybody on the team. But he had, Mechie had 5 catches for 74 yards. Yeah, only 6 targets. He caught 5 or 6.
I missed your Texas meltdown, but
I haven't done it yet. No, I jumped. I was at headlines.
you haven't? Oh, good.
Yeah, I was at
Okay,
headlines, and then I jumped to you. We're gonna get to when I come back. We're gonna start some NFL talk. We just did some college, and then
I listened to the college talk. Yeah.
we'll get into that. It's just
How did your show go this weekend? I haven't even talked to you in Conroe.
oh gosh, we had so many, Mom. I had last week.
Did you really?
Yeah, I had a show
awesome.
every night, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And everyone had like a different story almost. It was really weird. Thursday, I was at the Houston Improv with this guy named Rick Glassman, and the chat warned me about this guy. I had never heard of this guy. I had never worked with him. Mother, this guy was, first of all, hilarious.
Was he?
Second
How did the chat know about him?
I mean, he has got this like really popular podcast. It's called, let me see, Rick Glassman. It's called Take Your Shoes Off. It's the Take Your Shoes Off podcast. But he's done a lot of really, I guess, popular shows. I used to watch one of them, Undateable. But he was on Undateable. He's done The Sixth Lead, Not Dead Yet, As We See It. He's done all these shows, some movies. So I didn't know who he was or about his stand-up, but they called me to feature for him. And so I met him, really funny on stage. And then afterwards, like, he's quirky, right? And he talks about on stage being diagnosed with autism. And
Really?
yeah. And I get, he's high functioning, I guess, and all that, but he, I guess, was diagnosed with it. And, but so he talks a lot about it on stage, and he's hilarious about it. And he actually, I'm going to switch the order up that I should tell this in, but he was actually doing a podcast later, and somebody asked him about, being diagnosed with autism. And does he, asked him about like being a spokesperson for it or something like that. And he goes, I don't want to be a spokesperson for something that I'm not even fully aware of or fully understand myself yet, or something like that. Like, it was really kind of deep and poignant what he said. Like, or fully understand what it is, or what, or even that I'm aware of, or something like that, or that I'm even comfortable with yet myself. So I don't even want to be a spokesperson for it yet. It's pretty deep. But he said, but I do know I have it, and it's basically like his social clues aren't great. And so he said, he doesn't, he's like, if I have to tell people, listen, if I'm annoying, just tell me. And, I won't. But I saw this later. But that night, like, he's hilarious on stage and off stage. But off stage, I was like, man, he's just don't stop. Like, he doesn't turn it off. He's always funny.
Always funny.
He's always, in the business, we call it always on. Like, he's always on. And I told him, we were sitting in the green room, and I'm just dying laughing. I was like, I don't think I could get high with you. I would have to wear a diaper. I would be pissing my pants, bro. Like, it's exhausting hanging out with you. You're just constantly hilarious. It was like one of the funniest nights. But I left. I was just like, I couldn't hang out with that dude every day. He's just
Where's he from?
Constantly funny. He lives in LA now.
Oh, he does.
But we were standing there. I had came back. I sold merch, and I did okay. And I was coming back from the lobby, and he was standing in front of the showroom talking to the MC, Connor, who's a hilarious comedian. And they were talking, and I came walking up, and he's like, "How'd you do on merch, man?" I was like, "Oh, I did okay. I did pretty good." He's like, "Oh, that's cool." And we started talking about merch a little bit. And he was like, "Yeah, I don't really want to have to haul shirts around or koozies." And I was like, "Oh, dude, koozies are easy. You should do this." And we're talking a little bit. And I forget what I said. Something like, "Well, you could just do stickers or something." And he goes, out of nowhere, I swear to God, I said, "You could just, do stickers too." And he goes, "Did you steal my keys?" I go, "What?" He goes, "Did you steal my keys?" I go, "No, Mom, I shit you not." He reaches up behind my ear. He's got his keys in his hand, and he goes, "There they are."
Oh, God.
I was like, what the fuck is happening right now?
So he's like a magician. Too.
No, but that's just the kind of quirky shit that he does.
Just
he was
out
like,
of nowhere.
just out of nowhere. I mean, we're in the middle of a conversation. He just goes, "Did you steal my keys?"
Merch.
Yeah, I mean, we're in the middle. I was like, "Oh, you could do stickers." And he goes, "Did you steal my keys?" I was like, "What? Did you steal my keys?" I was like, "No." He goes, "There they are."
Maybe his mind works like that. It just switches.
I was like, what the fuck just happened, man? Like, that's so... And then he just went off on something new. Off he goes. I was like, oh, this is crazy. It was so crazy, man. It was wild.
I don't think I know anybody that's autistic.
I know a few people, like at the radio station, Juggalo Trey he would always talk about being on the spectrum. I didn't realize there's a lot of high functioning
and there's different
people.
levels.
Yeah, there's a lot of high functioning people with autism because there's different levels of being on the spectrum of autism. And in fact, I know a comedian who's his son is autistic, and he was talking about the fact that there's certain like levels to it, like there's like the movie Rain Man, you know what I mean? Like he was autistic, and so there's levels like that, and then there's some where it's just like they're
it's subtle.
Yeah, it's subtle, or it's just like certain things are triggering, like touch, is like or affection, or just social triggers or social norms. So it just depends. Like there's just all kinds of different levels to it.
Yeah, I often think about.
I'm by no means an expert, though.
But, I know, but I always think about when I was in elementary school and even junior high, there were kids that were very different, and they didn't seem to kind of fit in. But we didn't know anything back then about autism, and think how sad that was that these kids were just kind of put out there, and kids made fun of them, or they thought they were weird, and all this time, they probably had, some of them were autistic. I mean, That was sad. At least now we can find out about people.
Yep. Perry said, my 6-year-old is high functioning autistic. And he said,
really?
Autism spectrum is infinite. And touch
really?
Is sensory. Yeah. Yeah. And that's And that's the thing. There's like there's different levels to it. Like one of my friends was saying like his son who's autistic, like he can't rub his back.
That
It's
touch.
like, yeah, like if he rubs his back, he's like, it feels like needles. Like he can pat him, but if he
Really?
rubs his back, he's like, it feels like needles, Daddy. You can't do that. Like it's just,
Oh,
yeah. But he's like, and then like, certain things he'll like, he can't do, but then like other things, he's like a savant at doing certain things. And
yeah. I was
but then
going to
like
say,
he's functional though. Like,
Well,
he'll go to school and stuff, but yeah, it's it's just different levels to it. Yeah, Perry said they often miss social cues.
an autistic comedian. That's a new one and a very successful one, evidently.
Wildly successful, hilarious. Yeah, successful, hilarious, and but yeah, he does, and that's why he was saying, if I'm annoying, let me know. Which I saw later, and I was like,
Really?
yeah, which I saw later, and I was like, oh, that explains why it was so exhausting while he's on all the time. Because a lot of times people will go, okay, like this is, it's a lot. But then I was like, oh, I get it now. That makes sense. He doesn't know
Yeah.
when to not be funny or when to stop.
He doesn't know when to
Yeah.
stop, take a breath.
Yeah. I was like, wow. But oh my God, you talk about talented, Mom. This dude.
And
was
does he write his own
fucking
jokes?
Oh, yeah. You wouldn't,
Really?
honestly,
See
Mother,
that?
you
See
would have
that's
no
amazing.
idea this dude was autistic if he didn't tell you. I mean, you would.
Really?
You'd just be like, he's
He was that
brilliant.
good.
He's so funny. Yeah. You would have no idea.
Wow, you've met some interesting people in that field.
Walt, did you steal my keys? Is my new way to get out of a boring conversation.
Oh, Walt, that's
Oh, that's
funny.
fucking hilarious, dude. Yeah, you just have your keys in your wallet. Like if this gives my
Just
cap, and
pull
just
'em
go.
up.
Yeah, if you're just like, God, this sucks so bad, just go. Huh, did you steal my keys? Well, what is that? I gotta go. And they'll be like, what the fuck was that?
What?
Yeah, just that's
Oh
so
my
funny.
gosh. Oh.
Yeah, Spoon was the one that was telling me about how he was kind of funny but odd and different. But his podcast, Mother.
Well, the odd and the different is probably, yeah.
But I mean, there's a lot of
But
guys
that's what
that are.
makes him funny.
Yeah, but there's a lot of people that are odd and different, but they're not, either autistic or on the spectrum or
Autistic,
whatever.
right.
But and so, like I said, like I mean, I don't know. Maybe Andy Dick wasn't just, but Andy Dick was a guy who was odd and different. I know a ton of comics that are they're just different because they're risk takers and they think different and they just do different shit. They just, their style and brand of comedy is just, there's a guy locally who's like that. There's nothing wrong with him. Just the way he does shit is just so different and it's hilarious. But it's just, it's just a wildly
And you all
different
learn
way of doing
from
it.
you all learn from each other too. That's what I love.
Yeah. Yeah. I did so that was
Did
Thursday.
you headline in Conroe?
Yeah, I headlined the show at the brewery Friday. That went well. So they signed up to do 4 shows with me in 2025. So that's good.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, and then I was out in
Did
Sour
they
Lake.
sell out? Did they sell out?
No, it
Not
was. I
quite?
think it was about. It's probably like 60-70% full, but it
As
was
people
good.
get used to it and talk about it,
Oh, yeah. We'll market the shit
It's
out
kind
of
of like
it.
the Hop Scholar in the beginning.
That's it. We'll market the shit out of it. But I went out to Sour Lake, which was so much fun, man. We
Oh, I know where Sour Lake is.
Yeah, we went out there and had a good time doing a show out there. And then last night,
Where? There's like a
so
place
there's
in
this
Sour Lake.
guy. It's a fascinating story. There's this guy out there who owns some land, and he built this big. I don't know what the fuck it is. It's like
Because it's out in the middle of nowhere.
yeah, it's
We
like
go through
this.
Sour Lake going to Beaumont.
It's called the Revenant. It's what it's called. Like it's a venue, and he calls it the Revenant, but it's on his property, and he started off, I was like, what is this? He goes, well, it was supposed to be my man cave. And it's just this performance venue thing. He was like, it was supposed to be my man cave, but I just like having bands and, comedians and performers come out. And I mean, it literally holds like, I don't know, 80, 90. I have a picture.
Really? That's fast. Look, people, I love people that take chances like that, or just have a dream and go do it.
Well, I mean, obviously he's doing well. So I asked Jerry Wayne knows him real well. I was like, well, how did this dude, like, obviously he's doing well. What was his story? He goes, man, this guy is so smart. He said during the when the BP oil spill happened, there were something like BOP. You had to be BOP certified after that happened. And apparently, like, no one knew how to get BOP certified or couldn't get BOP certified or whatever. And this guy recognized that. And so he started a company that could train and certify oil companies to get BOP certified. And he was like one of the first in the country.
See a need and fill it.
He was like one of the first in the country to be able to train and certify oil companies to get BOP certified. And the rest is history. Like, that's how he made his fortune. And now he
built this venue.
Yeah. So now he's got
people
this
from all around there.
Yeah. And I was like, I don't know if this is like a fucking barn or I don't know what this shit is, but it's gorgeous though, man. It's badass. I'm sending this to myself now. So I can download these photos. You got to see this.
Every time I think of barn, I think about your first.
My what?
When you got married.
Oh,
in the barn.
With Shannon? Oh no, we got married outside in a fucking cow pasture.
Well, it was in front of the barn.
Yeah, in front of the barn, but it was in a cow pasture. It smelled like wet cow shit because it had rained.
You should have known this.
And everybody was like, "Oh, it's good luck when it rains on your wedding day." No, the fuck it ain't. Obviously not. No, it ain't. Here we go. Let's see.
But this guy, getting back to this guy, think about it. Sour Lake's out in the middle of nowhere. Now, it's not far from Beaumont, not that far from Houston. But think of all the people that live around there.
Oh, yeah.
This is like
the
place to go.
Here's some different shots of it. This is a wide shot of it. Look at this. This is crazy. This is a wide shot.
Oh my God.
That was supposed to be his man cave. This is a little closer version of it.
Oh my Lord.
Yeah, that's a bar on the right-hand side, and then it's like that's Jerry Wade on stage. This is how many people's inside this thing. So on the right, you can kind of see like a roll-up garage door, and then next to it is like a walk-through door. And then Jerry Wade's on stage and see all the pictures, and to the left is another door, and these are just long tables. And then here's a tight shot of it with the people in there. I mean, it's just, and then he's had like the Los Lonely Boys performed there. But here's the wide shot again, and I wonder if I can. Let's see.
That's ingenious. It's just like a barn.
It is. It really is. I'm trying to see if I can.
What are the acoustics like?
Oh, it sounds amazing. There, I'm bringing up the gain a little bit so you can kind of see
yeah,
you can kind of see the look of it a little bit.
It's not small.
No. I'm in the very back, like I'm in the back corner. So, and then like to the right, there's like, it's got a couple of bedrooms. It's got a men's and women's restroom. It's got a full kitchen. It's got a huge, like, it's so badass. And it's just on his property, but it's a performance venue and he sells tickets. He books comics. It's crazy, man.
Does it have like, do they serve food?
Oh yeah. Oh, he had a Mediterranean food truck. Last time I was there with Jerry Wayne in April, they had barbecue.
Now that's a smart thing to do, to have a food truck, and then you don't have to fool with it.
Man, I was like, bro, you're onto something, man. It's badass. I love going out there. He takes great care of us. Like, he loved Jerry Wayne. And then I went out with Jerry Wayne and I featured for him, and then he was like, well, I want y'all to come back. I want Barry to co-headline and shit. So we went out. This time around, he had our favorite whiskey and cigars, and man, he rolls out the red carpet. It's
wow.
Yeah. It was
That's
great, man.
cool.
And then
He treated you good.
oh yeah. And then last night I did a show for Wheelchairs for Warriors. It was a
Oh, Barry, that's awesome.
yeah, it was a show at Bad Astronaut Brewery. And
Dang, you've been busy.
yeah, I'm kind of a dick though. They asked me so it's Wheelchairs for Warriors. And they were like, what do you want your walk-up song to be? And I was like, really? We're going to call it a walk-up song? That kind of a slap in the face. That's kind of fucked up. They were like, God damn it, Barry. I was like, hey, what up, Shock? Good to see you, Lima Shock. I was like, are we really going to call it a fucking walk-up song? Could we call it something else? Do we have to call it a walk? They were like, okay, Barry, fine. Fuck, what do you want? I was like, let's see.
Dancing in the rain.
No, I said, I want to come out to Limp Biscuits Rolling. They were like, God damn it, Barry.
Oh,
They were like,
Barry.
God, no. No. I was like, well, at least I didn't say I wanted to come out to ZZ Top's Legs. They were like, Jesus Christ.
Barry.
Oh,
So what did you come
God.
out to?
Well, the DJ didn't show, and it was probably for the best.
So it didn't matter.
But I was going to come out to Limp Biscuits Rolling, and I don't know how that would have went.
They would have probably thought it was hysterical.
I don't know. Tony the Handsome said, I can't be a part of this anymore. Yeah, there's some
my
guilt
God.
by association, Tony. Cece said rolling in the deep.
Okay, Cece.
Cece's in on it now, Tony. He said, I'm deleting my Patreon.
Oh my God, leave it to the chat. Cece, that's hysterical.
So funny. Walk This Way, Aerosmith, and here we go.
Walk this way. They're all going now.
Shock, I
Hey,
would
that
walk
would have been a good
500
one.
miles. Tony said, I won't stand for this. Tony, you son of a bitch. Oh, that's fantastic.
I am not going to be a part of this.
Oh my God, Tony, you little
Oh,
sneaky
God.
son of a gun, you. Oh, that's fucking great. Walk this
Lord.
way. Yeah. Jeff Bell got Walk This Way. Barry's like, watch out for lightning, you heathens. Oh, man. Yeah, it was.
God,
it
my
was,
jaws hurt from laughing.
Well, and it was like it was hosted by Ken Webster, who was like a very conservative, right wing radio guy in town, and it was kind of funny because it's like a conservative organization. It was all conservative. It was like all Trump and
And you went to that?
yeah. Well, I mean,
It's a job.
I'm a moderate, but
Oh God.
it was funny because they're up making, they're just, all they're doing is just making Trump jokes and Kamala jokes and Joe Biden jokes and Ted Cruz jokes and
politician jokes.
yeah, they're just and it was in the beginning they were like, who's a Trump fan? Everybody like, "Ah!" And they were like, we got any Kamala fans in the house? And two people were like, whoa! It was fucking
Maybe
two
not.
people. They had no idea. I guess they just, they probably thought they were just like, oh, Wheelchairs for Warriors. Well, we love the military too. But I don't think that they realized that it was like, I don't know. And then they were like,
given by a conservative organization.
they were just like, fuck. And then it started and they just kept shitting on them and shitting on, not them, but like shitting on Kamala and, and so like 5 minutes in, they just stood up and left. They were like, I ain't sitting through this bullshit.
And I'm not sitting
It
through
was
this.
so funny.
Oh,
it was
God.
crazy though, because we were inside this room. doing our thing, but outside was a fucking Wiccan convention.
A Wiccan?
Yeah,
You're
there were
kidding.
witches outside selling witches shit. So you had these right-wing conservative people, like weirdos inside, and you had these witches weirdos outside. It was like, what the fuck? How does this happen?
And how did you fit in?
It was the weirdest shit ever. Like you could go outside and get some smoked goat testicles and then come inside, and I don't know. This is the fucking weirdest shit.
Where was this? In Houston?
Yeah, Bad Astronaut Brewery. Yeah.
Oh.
It's crazy. Perry said, funny thing is my good friend is handicapped and he'd be laughing his ass off at these jokes. Yeah. Perry,
Oh, I'm sure
you know
he
what?
would.
Perry, I find that most people, most people that are handicapped would laugh at it. Perry, as a comedian, stand-up comedian for 11 years, most people, I'll tell you a funny story, Perry. I'll give you a good example. We can't laugh
at ourselves. You know, that's one thing that's wrong. We can't laugh at ourselves
I'll give you a good
and they probably
example
would.
of what you're talking about, Perry. I think I may have told this story before, but I have a joke that I tell. I don't do it often, but occasionally. And I'll tell the joke, and then I'll tell you the story. So I do a joke where I say, I set it up by saying, you know, I like to sometimes I smoke weed. And I'll watch TV, but the problem is it makes me think of stupid shit. One time I was watching a show on deaf people, people that, you know, can't hear. And I was thinking, man, I wonder if deaf people sound deaf when they think to themselves.
Oh my Lord.
You know, it's like internally, they're still like, dear diary, like, you know, like, dear diary, like they still sound like, but then I was like, well, maybe, you know, if God was cool, even though they can't hear, maybe they sound like Morgan Freeman inside. So then I'm like, dear diary, you know what I mean? Like inside. And so, I did that joke. I was in St. Paul. I was in Minneapolis, St. Paul. I was in the Twin Cities. I did that joke. And Tony goes, well, it was a good run. So I did the joke. Great laugh. I've done the joke several times, and I've had deaf people come up to me afterwards and be like, I loved that fucking joke. And they'll be like, I'm deaf. And I'm like, how the fuck did you hear it? And they were like, I read lips. And I'm like, fuck, I never thought of that. Because I always I always tag the joke with, I'll do the joke. And inevitably, some people will laugh and some people will go, oh, like you. They'll cover their face or they're like, oh my God. And I always tag it with the following. I always do the joke. And then a lot of people get, ooh. Now go, guys, relax.
It's a joke.
No, guys, relax. Anyone that would have been offended by that didn't hear it. We're okay. God. And that always gets a huge pop from everybody, right? That gets a huge pop. And, you know, so then I'll have deaf people come and be like, oh my God, it was so funny. It was great. And then, yeah, so I've had deaf people come up to me in the past and be like, oh my God, that was fucking hilarious. I never thought about what I sounded like. You know what I mean? And then we have this conversation and it's fantastic.
That's amazing. They can read lips.
It's fantastic.
That's amazing.
It's fantastic. They love it. You know what I mean? And then, but I was in Minneapolis, St. Paul, and I did that joke. And I've had 3 deaf people and 1 kid whose parents were deaf, and they've all come up, right?
Oh, yeah.
Loved it. But I'm in Minneapolis, St. Paul, and this man comes up, and he goes, you know, I really enjoyed your set, but that joke you did about deaf people, that was highly offensive. And I just wanted you to know that was inappropriate, and I don't think that it was okay. I was like, you thought it was inappropriate? He goes, well, my wife did. I was like, your wife did? He goes, yeah. I was like, but you're here telling me.
She sent him.
And he goes, well, yeah, she, yeah. I was like, well, why didn't she come tell me? He goes, well, you know, she's not confrontational. She wanted me to come tell you that it was offensive and inappropriate because our daughter is deaf. I was like, oh, so your daughter is deaf. Is she here tonight? He was like, well, no. I was like, oh, how old is your daughter? He was like, she's 26. I was like, oh, so you have a deaf daughter who's 26 years old and she's not here tonight, but instead you are, and you're here telling me that your wife is offended. So were you offended by the joke or was your wife? He goes,
I bet he wishes he'd have never said anything.
oh God, people fucking regret coming up to me after shows doing this shit. He was like, well, I mean, I really didn't think it was that bad. I mean, I was like, yeah. He was like, I was like, yeah. Here's the thing, bro. I don't need you getting offended for somebody else. How about you let them come to the show and get offended for themselves, but instead you're here on behalf of your wife who's offended on behalf of your daughter. Why the fuck are we having this conversation right now? He goes, I don't really know, man. I'm married. You know how it goes. I was like, yeah, you're right. You're here because you want to get laid tonight, huh? He goes, yep, that's exactly right. How much are the shirts? I was like, I get it, bro. I get it. You had to come over here because your wife was pissed.
Barry, that is hysterical.
Yeah. He had
See,
to
real
come,
life provides a lot of comedy.
And I was like, bro, let me tell you something. I said, I've had deaf people. I've done that show. I've done that joke in front of deaf people and they think it's hilarious. I was like, let me ask you this. I said, I'd love to ask your wife, was she offended at the fat jokes that I did? Was she offended at the old jokes I did? Did she get offended at all of the other swipes I took at every other person and type of person in my show? Because I made fun of everybody. But she chose to get offended for somebody that wasn't even here. He's like, I know, man. Fuck. I know. I'm sorry. It was the funniest shit,
Oh
Mom.
my God.
And it happens all the time. People want to get offended for somebody else.
Oh, everybody.
Not even themselves.
You know what they say? Everybody is so easily offended. It's like everybody's looking for a way to get offended.
There's this one comic, Mom. He's, God rest his soul. His name was Ed Blake, but he had this joke about a one-armed chick or a one-armed dude. They had a friend with like one real short arm and one long arm, and they used to call him 315. Because yeah, one short arm and one long arm, so they called him 315. And before the show, there was this chick in the front row who had one short arm, and I was like, Ed,
oh no,
tell me you're not going to do the joke. He goes, fuck yeah, I'm doing the joke. He goes, Barry, do you do your fat jokes if there are fat people in the crowd? Because it's Houston. There's always fat people in the crowd. I was like,
isn't that the truth?
Touche.
I'm one of them.
He goes, it's comedy, man. He goes, it's comedy. He said, I promise you she's going to come up and laugh about this. And I was like, and sure as shit, she goes, thank you. She goes, that finally. She goes, it is so nice to be included. I was like, what? That's crazy. Like it was really cool. And like I was with Billy D. Washington in Fort Worth not too long ago. And he does this joke about like when nobody ever compliments you about anything until you're missing it. He's like, man, that was a nice house. Too bad you lost it in a divorce. That's crazy, man. That was a nice ass house. And then he does this one thing where he's like, man, that was a nice foot, bro. Too bad you had that diabetes. That was a nice foot. Now you can only do like one half of the hokey pokey. Like he does, and he goes through this bit.
Oh my God.
And there was this guy in the crowd who was missing his fucking foot. He had a prosthetic leg from the knee down. And he takes it off and he holds it up. He goes, "Yo!" And Billy goes, "What the fuck, man?" Like on stage, and he goes, "Yeah, man, fuck that hokey pokey," or something like that. And Billy starts riffing with him. He goes, "Oh, man, are you serious right now?" He's like, "You ain't got your foot?" And he goes, "No, man, I ain't got my foot." He goes, "This is wild as shit. I don't think I've ever had anybody not have their foot." And when I did that joke, he goes, "Man, I don't have my foot." It was crazy as shit. And the dude came up afterwards and was like, "Bro, will you sign my leg?" And like, he loved it. They took a picture and the guy had his fucking leg off and he's holding it with Billy and they fucking taking pictures with his foot and they sign. I'm telling you, 99% of the time, the only people that are getting offended are people that are getting offended on behalf of somebody else.
For someone else.
Rarely do I see somebody getting offended for themselves.
Oh my God, that's a funny story. I know.
Now, I did see Damon Wayans walk a blind person once, which is really fucking awkward. If you think about it, because like walking means like if you offend somebody, they get up and walk out. It's weird to walk a blind person because then they're like, "Well, I'm out of here." And then everybody knows. It's not like you're not sneaking out. You know what I mean?
No,
Like,
you're not.
She had to be let out. She had to be let out. It looked like a fucking train was. Oh my God. It was like, because he was telling all these blind jokes about Stevie Wonder.
Oh no.
She got so pissed. She fucking, if you walk a blind person, it's fucked up because then they gotta find their way out. Is that what they call it? Is that what they call it? Walking somebody? Yeah. I had one buddy tell me, and then we gotta go. I gotta do some sports, but I had one buddy tell me he was doing a theater show, and theaters, it's a long walkway, right? It's a long walkway. He said he was in the front row and he was bombing, or there was this old ass lady in the front row. He was bombing. Then he said something and she didn't like it. And she goes, "Well, I'm out of here." Just yelled it you ain't got to yell it. Just leave, right? She goes, "I'm out of here." And she stood up and she unfolded her walker.
Oh God.
He goes, "Barry, it took this old woman 17 fucking minutes to walk from the front row to the back of the theater. It was the longest, most excruciating walk I have ever seen." And I'm just like, "Bitch, would you hurry?" Because no one can focus now because we're all just watching this woman just slowly. Sick of this shit. I'll tell you that much right now. It's awful right here's what it is. It's so bad right now. I don't even know how y'all putting up with this right here. Oh my God, mother.
Oh Lord.
I was just like, "You got to be shitting me, bro." He goes, "Nope. I walked an old ass woman from the front row to the back of the theater." And I was like, my set's going to be over with before she gets to the door.
He must have been telling old jokes.
I don't know. It was just, I don't even remember what he told me it was about. I was just, because I'm dying. We're eating breakfast. I'm dying laughing. I couldn't even finish my food. I was just like, good Lord, bro. I never thought about that. That is hilarious. So everybody's like, "Fuck sports. Keep going."
I don't know how we get off on these tangents.
Oh, Perry's like, "This shit is hilarious." Oh my God. I thought you were going to say, forget the sports talk. No, nobody wants sports. They just want comedy stories. Uriel said, in comedy, you can laugh at things that you would never laugh at in a serious conversation because it's comedy. That's true, though.
That's true.
Yeah, that's very true. Barry's like a preacher right now, but there's always that one time. Yeah, man. I mean, you can offend people. I mean, I've had people, but usually here's the thing. I have had people leave, and those are the what, like people that come up to you afterwards to tell you that something was offensive are usually the ones that are being offended for somebody else.
Sure, so,
If
yeah,
you offend somebody and
they're not
they're
gonna come
offended,
up.
those are the ones that just leave. Like the blind lady. She was offended at Damon Wayans' jokes about Stevie Wonder and blind people because he was like, how the fuck does Stevie Wonder know when he's done wiping his ass?
Oh, God.
Which, valid question. If you really, like, how do you...
Oh, God.
Valid question, Damon. Like, how do you... Because, you know, you got to check. You're like, oh, yep, that's good to go. I mean, does he have somebody? Does he have a person for that?
Oh.
And she was like, that's enough. I'm about this motherfucker.
Oh, I'm out of here. Oh.
Where's the belt loop at? Where's the belt loop at? Oh my God.
Like, there's so many old people jokes out there. If I was easily offended, I'd be offended all the time.
Oh yeah. I do a ton of old people jokes. Tons.
No.
Tons.
Oh, Lordy.
Yeah. It's and it's really all about how you set it up. You know what I mean? It's all about, you have to give the audience permission sometimes. You have to, and some comedians don't give a fuck. But I did learn, like I do a bunch of jokes. I do a bunch of fat jokes. But I learned that I can give the audience and myself an excuse to laugh and be able to tell the jokes just by saying, hey, I used to be overweight. You know, I've been on a diet. I've lost all this weight. But when I was fat, and then I just tell a bunch of fat jokes. And then they go, oh, okay, so he's not fat now, but he used to be.
But he was.
Yeah.
So he understands.
Yeah. And so it's kind of, you know, because you can't just.
So are you saying that when you become fat, you can't do those jokes anymore?
What do you mean?
Well, you said you tell them when you used to be fat. So if you get fat again,
oh no, then you just tell the jokes. Then you ain't got to tell them I used to be fat. Then you just.
Because then they can't get offended because you're fat.
Well, what sucks though is I've told this story on here before because I was talking about doing different kinds of rooms, like doing a room with all black people versus a room with all Spoon. I'm offended. Shut up, Spoon. I was talking about this one time where like I really enjoy doing all black crowds because they really pick up on authenticity. And if you go in front of a black crowd, if you try to fake it or you try to be somebody you're not, they really pick up on it really quick. And there's no leeway in that. And I think that's why I do so well in front of those crowds. Because if I just go up and be authentically me, already kind of just because of who I am and kind of, you know, who I hung out with and who I came up with and stuff like that, I kind of have an advantage because I can relate a little bit more. And so I kind of have, I kind of enjoy it more too.
Yeah,
but
that makes sense.
But they pick up on it if you try to fake it.
Yeah.
But I can say things that I think, because I also know where the line is and I don't have to think before I speak. When I think some comics that maybe didn't come up in an environment or weren't, you know, didn't come up in that environment, they tend to censor themselves or think, uh-oh, is this going to be offensive? Can I say this? And then they're worried and they get nervous and I don't really worry about that. I never have to stop and think first like that. And so that's an advantage. But so I do this joke where I tell those jokes. I tell all my fat jokes, and I only do this now in front of black crowds because it does not work in front of white crowds. I can't do it in front of white crowds. Mixed crowds, like if it's, you know, 50-50 or something, it kind of works. But like when I featured for Damon Wayans, this crushed. When I featured for John Witherspoon, it crushed. I just did it for EJ Speaks and it crushed. She's a black comic. But I'll do the fat jokes, right? And they'll go good or whatever. And then I stop and say, you know what's crazy is I have to tell you guys that I used to be fat before I tell you those jokes. Because otherwise, you guys are like, this guy's an asshole just up there telling fat jokes. Anyway, so I used to be black. And and I'd stop and I'd drink like that. And Mom...
That I would laugh at that.
Fuck. It crushes in an all-black room.
Oh, that is so funny.
Destroys. What's crazy is if I do that in an all-white room, it just gets uncomfortable.
They don't get it.
No. They just kind of, it's white guilt. It's whatever it is. Can
Whatever
we laugh
it
at that?
is,
Is
it
that
doesn't work.
okay? They get offended for black people. You know what I
There
mean?
you go.
They get
Who aren't there.
How dare him? That's not okay.
And then you're a racist.
That's not okay at all. Like, or they're just like looking for permission to laugh. You know what I mean? Like, it's crazy. But I did that at John Witherspoon, and there was like one white guy in the front, and the whole place is going nuts. I'm like, look at the white guy. Look how nervous he is right now. Look at him. He's freaking the fuck out. He's like, what just happened? Like, we had fun with it. You know what I mean?
Oh my God.
And so it's just weird, man. It's a weird, it's a whole weird, comedy's a weird thing to navigate. It's a very weird.
Yeah.
But it's always, I mean, people say it's always been like that. It's just because it's always evolving. I mean, think about Lenny Bruce. He probably went through the same shit. Just a different era, different time. So
I'm sure he did.
so. What up, Joe Pro? Good to see you, man. All right, mother. I love you. We're going to talk about the Texans for the rest of the day.
Oh, boy. I'm listening. Yeah, come up with a solution, would you?
I love you, Mom. There's Jenny's mom, everybody. She joins us every Monday right here on Barry on Deck. Don't forget, she pops in and we have a good time talking. I don't know, whatever the hell we talk about. We talk about some good shit. I do have to get her the jersey. I was so sad that they didn't have, because we waited for Battle Red Day. They didn't have any Tank Dell red jerseys. I was like, wait till Battle Red Day. I bet they come out. Sure as shit. And y'all know me, my memory is terrible. But I made a note and I remembered. And when Battle Red week came around, I went and checked and I found it. I was like, fuck yeah, Mom. I got it. Here's the link. What size? Medium. I went. Some bitch sold out. But at least I remembered. I would have been a shitty son if I didn't. I remember. So she's clapping in the green room. Yes. Thank God. And Nora didn't even have to remind me, Mom. I did it all on my own like a big boy. Simpa said, could a black comedian do the same, you think, in a white crowd? Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. And I think, yeah. Absolutely. Yeah, I think it would be. Yeah, I think it would be the same. I definitely think it wouldn't work if a black comedian did that in front of a black crowd. I for sure don't think that would work. For a vastly different reason than it doesn't work for me in front of a white crowd. Yes, he can be Michael Jackson. Shut up, Terrence. But yeah, it's yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I think he could do it. For sure. I think it would be funny. All right, let's talk. I don't want to, we had a fun hour-long almost conversation about comedy and whatnot, and I'm glad you guys enjoyed it. I like talking comedy with you guys. So I hope you enjoyed it. But we got to talk about this Texans meltdown, y'all. I hate to do it to you. I do. I hate to do it to you. But we've got to. Last night, Sunday night's game, was the tale of two halves. It was, I made a note in my phone about the Texans. Where'd it go? Come here, you son of a gun. Uh-oh. Nope. Wrong one. Oh, shit. Oh. Did I lose it? Oh, my God. I guess I lost it. Oh, here we go. Good first half. CJ looked good. The O-line looked better. Defense looked great. Complimentary football. Special teams looked good. It was a good first half. Coaching was great. It was almost a perfect half of football, except for CJ's turnovers. But it was almost, the jerseys looked fire. It was almost a perfect half of football. CJ looked great. O-line looked great. Defense looked great. Special teams looked great. Coaching was great. Everything was great. Now just reverse that for the second half. It was all shit. It was all absolute shit. Everything was shit. Everything. I even hated those fucking helmets by the end of the game. Fuck those helmets. Ugly ass uniforms. Ugly ass helmets. I never want to see those again. Ugly. Blech. Awful. And Flip had tweeted to me. And he goes, man, he goes, I gotta blame CJ for this. He said, I don't think you can blame really anybody else but CJ. Put this L on CJ. And I said, look, I don't necessarily completely disagree with you. But I think too, and this was my point when the Atlanta Falcons melted down in the Super Bowl and lost. Yep, that interception to Dell was woefully underthrown. But we also need to, there is plenty of blame to go around. Some people want Bobby Slowick fired. Listen. Let's start with CJ, but it doesn't end there. Okay? It definitely does not end there. And the reason it doesn't end there is because hold on, let me pull something up here. The Texans spotted them a 23-7 lead at the half. The offense and defense. I mean, like I said, complimentary football, right? Defense gets turnovers. The offense cashed some of them in. Yes, there were, again, there was some deficiencies in the red zone, which this team, if they're going to be taken seriously, obviously they're going to have to fix what ailed them in the second half by not scoring at all. But they're going to have to get better in the red zone first and foremost. I don't know what their red zone efficiency is. Let's see. NFL red zone efficiency. But I feel like it's probably at least in the bottom third of the league. That would be my guess. Oh, here we go. I've got it. They're 14th. Better than I thought. Red zone scoring percentage, touchdowns only. Yeah, and that's what I meant. Not field goals, but I mean converting in the red zone to touchdowns. Because settling for field goals is not how you win Super Bowls. They are 14th in the league, converting 55% of their trips to the red zone into touchdowns. They've got to get better. Now, they spotted themselves a 23-7 lead. The offense does diddly poo in the second half, other than some turnovers. And you obviously can't have that. If you look at their play chart, this is how it went in the second half. You ready? They come out, 1 play, 4 seconds, interception. 3 plays, 1 yard, punt. 5 plays, 40 yards, interception. 6 plays, 6 yards, punt. 3 plays, 1 yard, punt. 4 plays, 4 yards, punt. 9 plays, 30 yards, missed field goal. And that missed field goal led to the game-winning field goal. So when I say take everything that you saw in the first half, which was interception to touchdown, force a punt, field goal. They gave up a touchdown. They go down drive, hit a field goal. Interception leads to a field goal. Force a punt, and then they punt. They force a punt, score a touchdown, and then get an interception to go. Garbage interception at the half. Literally complimentary football in every possible way. Special teams, everything. And literally the complete opposite in the second half. But when you spot yourself a 23-7 lead and you choke that away, you have only 1 scoring opportunity in the second half, and you don't convert on it. And had you converted on it, you still win this game. That's the problem. This team is like the Chiefs, only they're not getting lucky. The Chiefs are getting lucky. They get the blocked field goal attempt with the Broncos or whatever. Think about how these Texans have lost now. Last second field goal to the Packers. Last second field goal to the Lions. There's 2 wins, right? 2 losses that could be wins. In 2 games where they played like absolute dog shit. They lost to Green Bay 24-22. It was not a good game, but it was a winnable game. That was a game where CJ Stroud was 10 of 21 for 86 yards, and they lost on a last-second field goal. They scored 3 points in the second half of that game and still could have won after scoring 19 in the first half. Same thing in Detroit, or against Detroit. They just got manhandled by the Jets. That's neither here nor there. They got blown out by Minnesota. So 2 of their losses, they earned those losses by just getting beat. But 2 of their losses, they played like dog shit and still could have won because they lost literally on last second walk-off field goals. So there's plenty of blame to go around. Plenty of blame to go around. But it starts and ends, as it always does on any team, with quarterback play. It always does. And when you see that CJ Stroud had 2 interceptions in the second half to go with a bunch of poorly thrown balls in general, he wasn't under a tremendous amount of duress like he had been in the previous couple of weeks. So you can't even say that was it. Was the protection great? No. Was it better than the previous 2.5 weeks? Yes. Do I like the moving Scruggs to guard? I'd rather see Scruggs at center. I think run blocking wise, Scruggs is better there. Pass pro wise, though, he held up a lot better at guard. So I think the run game suffered, and you saw that. I think that the run game suffered because of where Scruggs was, but I think that he did a better job in pass pro. And with Patterson at center, I think you saw that. But CJ was just off in the second half again. It wasn't good. Why is my chat disconnecting? Tanyuko says Slowick fired just this offseason. No one wanted to lose him to a head coaching job. Yeah, we'll get to that, Tanyuko. But I think it starts and ends with CJ and his decision making. And he's been inconsistent all year. That's it. It's sophomore slump. Let's call it what it is. CJ Stroud is having a sophomore slump. We didn't think it was going to be possible because of how dominant he was, because of how good he was last year. Thought there was no way. This is what it is. He's having a sophomore slump. It happens. He's too good to not bounce back and have a fantastic career, be a superstar in this league. But for the most part, he's having a sophomore slump. Also, the Texans could not get the run game going, and it showed. It showed. I think they needed a better game out of Joe Mixon. I do think one, you clearly could see that the Lions up front were pretty stout, and they had a good game plan to deal with the Texans zone blocking scheme. But let's give a little bit of blame to Joe Mixon. I don't feel like Joe Mixon did a great job of finding the lanes that he normally does. I think he was headhunting a little too much. I think he's kind of gotten into that headhunting mentality a little too much. Not terribly, but you can kind of tell he's got that reputation again where everyone's like, oh, he's just looking for a hat. To put a hat on a hat. Find a hole first, bro. Find a hole first. The defense played lights out in the first half. I mean, to force Jared Goff to throw 5 interceptions is phenomenal. But they forgot how to tackle in the second half. This team just was not tackling. Their tackling was atrocious in the second half. Absolutely atrocious. I didn't like some of the defensive calls in the second half. I felt like Petrie played out of his mind, though. I mean, you take everything I'm saying about the defense, but you can ignore what I'm saying when it comes to Jalen Petrie, because he played his ass off. And so did Azeez Al-Shaair. I thought he played his ass off as well. Daniel Hunter played well. But it felt like they were getting to Goff reasonably well. And that's where the game flipped in the second half. All of a sudden, this team could not stop the run. They couldn't tackle Montgomery. They couldn't tackle Gibbs. He was just way too fast for them. They just forgot how to tackle. Some of the play calling was questionable, but also at the same time, man, you just got to make stops. You just have to make stops. You got to have edge discipline on defense. You got to have lane discipline, and they didn't have any of that. None of that. And I saw Simpus say, hey, look, man, Stroud is without his 2 top receivers. Oh, I get it. You're down to your 3 being your 1. It's not ideal. Not ideal. Is this team better if Nico Collins and Stephon Diggs are in the offense at full? Yes, of course. Of course. Who wouldn't want to just throw a slant to Nico Collins and watch him pick up an extra 10 or 15 or 20 yards? It completely changes this offense. I get it. Makes Stroud look so much better. I get that. Because then he doesn't have to sit in the pocket as long. What little pocket there is. All of that matters. I get that. But that's not where we're at. But I put some on D'Amico Ryans. I put some on Bobby Slowick. This was a monumental all-around team collapse. Everybody. So I'm not necessarily calling for Bobby Slowick's head. I do think he's going to have to change things up a bit. I do think that he's going to have to get creative with who he's got. Also, they just need to get Nico back. Listen, this team doesn't have a star wide receiver on the field. It's hard to take them serious. Tank Dell is great as a 3. He's one of the better 3s in the league. But I remember, and you can get mad at me if you want to get mad at me. I remember when a lot of people, maybe some of you in this chat, were arguing with me that Tank Dell could be a 1. And I was staunchly on team no the hell he can't. And no the hell he isn't. He's not a 1 in this league. He's not. His ceiling is a low end 2 at best. At best. He's a really good 3. He's a really good 3. He's a serviceable 2. Tank Dell is not a 1. He'll never be a 1. But some of y'all in here are like, oh, he's not a 1. This was not the narrative when he came out. And when people were trying to tell me that this team has 2 1s or 3 1s. And I was saying, no, they don't. Yeah, they do, Barry. No, the fuck they don't. Tank Dell's not a 1. Now, I will say I was wrong when I said Nico Collins wasn't a 1. I was wrong about that. I wasn't a Nico Collins believer. I was wrong. But I was right about Tank Dell. I was definitely right about that. CC, he's the 1 in the NFC East. Well, the lower half. Yeah, Alex, a 2.5. So Nico as a 1 makes Tank look like a 1. No, Nico's legit, bro. And I have completely flipped on Nico. Because I was like, Nico's a 2. And no, that dude's bona fide stud. Bona fide. Dale needs to watch Patriots slot receiver tape from Brady's years. Yeah, I would agree with that. But that's not where they're at right now. And so that's part of the problem. That's part of the problem is you have to rely on him to run routes. You have to rely on him to be a 1 right now. What was encouraging, though, is that last night you saw Mechie step up. Ooh. Listen, this year could be an issue because of all the injuries. But seeing Mechie have that kind of breakout game, that could go a long ways for this team down the road. And by down the road, I mean next year. Because if they don't re-sign Stephon Diggs, if John Mechie could be that John Mechie, then Nico Collins, Tank Dell, John Mechie is a pretty good 1, 2, 3. It's not Nico Collins, Stephon Diggs, Tank Dell. But that John Mechie last night was impressive. He did look good, CC. Just got to have time to get him the ball. So they've got stuff to fix. There's no doubt. This team is not ready to be a contender. And the reason they're not ready to be a contender is they're too inconsistent. It's not talent. I don't think it's play calling. I think it's two problems: injuries and inconsistency. That's it. I don't think Bobby Slowick is the issue. I don't think, because if you look at it, if you want to flip it, I'm sure in the first half, Lions fans were like, get Aaron Glenn out of here. Run him out of town on a rail. And then they go, oh, look at that. He does know how to coach. In the first half, Texans fans are like, wow, look at that offense. There's the Texans offense we know about. So are we to believe that at halftime, Bobby Slowick just forgot how to call plays again? Here's the deal. For all of you that are pissed at Bobby Slowick, please, please, please understand. He can only do so much. Players have to play. And they have to play well for 4 quarters. And it starts with CJ Stroud. He was bad in the second half. The O-line was bad in the second half. The defense didn't tackle in the second half. They gave up all the points. All the points of the world, Craig. That was a monumental collapse. And it was all the players. Yeah, I would have loved some better calls on both sides of the ball. But I think this squarely falls upon the players. Because I could point out missed tackle after missed tackle, missed assignments on the offensive line. I mean, for fuck's sake, Titus Howard stripped the ball out of CJ Stroud's hands. What the fuck was that? That ain't Bobby Slowick's fault. The fuck was that? It was just dumb thing after dumb thing. I promise you, though, Bobby Slowick didn't forget how to call plays at halftime. He didn't go in there and someone did Nancy Kerrigan him over the head and he go, what? What is this sheet with all these squiggly lines on them? I promise you that. The same guy that called a beautiful game in the first half didn't just forget shit in the second half. The players played like dog shit. Most of them. Not all of them, but most of them. So, just saying. Now, yeah, and Simba says, are you sure? Because it seemed like, look, you can go and get a little conservative. You can go and, try to, run out the clock when it's too early or play prevent defense when it's too early, stuff like that. But my God, bro. A perfect example is that woefully underthrown touchdown pass that wasn't. There was an interception. He had Tank Dell wide open. For fuck's sake, Mike Tirico was like, uh-oh. That's how wide open he was. Tirico called it before CJ Stroud threw the pass. Go back and watch. He goes, look out. Tank Dell was behind his man. Tank Dell was in the end zone when the ball was intercepted on the 2. That's not Bobby Slowick's fault. That was the right play. That was the right play. That was a touchdown. That was a touchdown. And then you have the ball at the 1 yard line, which should have been a touchdown. And then you have holding. And now that's a field goal. So there's 4 more points. They get to the red zone and they end up with what? They just have to settle for a field goal 2-3 times. So even if it's 2 times, that's 8 points that this team takes off of the scoreboard. I mean, he was bad, Simpus. He had some terrible throws. That out route that was picked the first throw of the second half, that was not Bobby Slowick's fault. You just gifted them a touchdown. First drive, first play, the first play. Like literally, first drive, 1 play, 4 yards, or 1 play, 0 yards, 4 seconds, interception. Oh, well, that's right. Then they threw an interception. Not touchdown, interception. They got the ball right back, but then they punted. 3 plays, and then they throw the interception. But you just squander a drive. You squander a possession, but it just shows you how bad CJ was in the second half. That's not Bobby Slowick's fault. I promise you, man. Stroud was bad. So, yeah, I couldn't understand some of those conservative calls, especially when Detroit cut into that lead. Last drive of the missed field goal, play calling looked conservative, Alex said. And the reason, I said the last drive on the missed field goal, play calling looked conservative. I get that. 9 plays. This was the drive. I'm going to read you the plays. Oh, hell, I'll show you the plays. Let's talk about it. Let's break it down. Let's argue about it. Here you go. This is the missed field goal drive right here. First play, Joe Mixon. Up the middle. 4 yards. CJ Stroud, pass incomplete, short right to John Mechie. Shotgun, CJ Stroud, pass short right to John Mechie for 9 yards. Oh, first down. Joe Mixon, right tackle, 2 yards. CJ Stroud, pass short left to Tank Dell. Pushed out of bounds, 9 yards. First down. Doesn't look all that conservative. That's 2 first downs on the drive. See, because at this point now, when you're here, you're under 3 minutes. The reason if it turns conservative, the reason is you got to kill the clock. You're trying to make sure that they don't get the ball back or get the ball back with any time. So yeah, you turn conservative here to eat the clock up. That's it. So, 1st and 10, Joe Mixon left guard, 4 yards. 2nd and 10, Joe Mixon right tackle, 2 yards. 3rd and 10, 2-minute warning. 3rd and 4, CJ Stroud pass incomplete, short middle, Xavier Hutchinson. 4th and 4, timeout. 4th and 4, 58-yard field goal. No good. Kaimi Fairbairn. Also, don't tell me he can't make that. He had plenty of leg. He shanked the fuck out of that. If he makes that, we have a different conversation. I don't want to hear the excuse of, oh, well, you can't give Kaimi Fairbairn a 58-yard field goal. Why the fuck not? Why not? He's made them before with no problem. Plenty of leg. He was off. It was bad. It was a shitty kick. Awful. And now you gave him a short field because he shanked the shit out of it. So he let them down too. But I mean, you're right. There is a pattern here. First down run, first down run, first down run, and done. Now, I don't know if that's, let's see. First down pass, first down run. So there was a pass on that one. First down pass. Okay. First down left end. First down run. First down run. First down sacked. So that was a pass. So, I mean, they do run the ball, but yeah, they throw it too. First down run. First down run. There's a lot of running on first down. I'd be interested to see what the difference is between the two. What up, Chris? Easier to do Fairbairn 58-yard field goal or CJ missing tank? For Fairbairn 58-yarder. Mixon should have slapped Fairbairn and the long snapper. Oh, like Debo did? That would have been hilarious. That would have been hilarious. Do your job, bitch. Pow. Do your job, man. Now you guys bring up a good point. Now I may have to sit down tonight and go over how many times the Texans run the ball on first down. But then I want to see like what the league average is. What is the NFL league average of running the ball on first down? I'd be curious. The average success rate for NFL teams on first down is 44%. A team's success on first down is measured by gaining 50% of the necessary yardage, 50% on second down, and 100% on third down. Final two men observe that the average run rate on first down in the red zone is much higher than the overall first down run rate, about 60% to 52%. The impact of first down play calling. Bruin Sports Analytics. Now look at these subsets of teams do it in the red zone. Okay, now I'm going to nerd the fuck out. First down percentage in the NFL. Uh-oh. Mommy, make the bad man stop. Yikes. Yikes. The Texans are 28% on first down. First down percentage. That's good for 27th in the NFL. Ouch. Last year they were 24%, 24.93%. And we thought they were great last year. So not good. Philadelphia is 46% and number one. Wow. Wow. That's crazy. Now I got to go look. Chris, 74% get 5 yards on first down. What? Hey, what up, Candelaria? Kyrie Williams is a better pick than Hill. Playing championship mode daily fantasy tonight. Who do you guys like for captain? I have Tyreek. Ooh. Miami has the better defense. In fact, here, I did this for you. We're going to look at these graphics because, damn it, I made them. And then we have a birthday. And so we're going to do both. We gots to get in the birthday. Shit. Hold on. Because I made these slides and we're going to use them, bitch. Where did it go? Where did it, oh, shit. Cut. Damn, I didn't even paste these hoes in today. You dirty bitches. I thought I pasted all my stuff in. I sure didn't. I surely didn't. Okay. Why is this tripping? Bitches be tripping. Okay, here we go. Bam. And, oh boy. Oh, we didn't even get to my quotes today. Dag nabbit. Oh, shut up. Sassy mouth. Okay, I can delete that now. Cool. Cool. All right, here we go. Here's tonight's matchup. Monday Night Foosball. Here's what it do. Dolphins, Rams. Yeah, we're going to do a shot. Dolphins, Rams. Lieber Shock. Shock, when you gonna come over and hang out with me on a Wednesday, bro? On the back porch. Here you go. Dolphins, Rams. Dolphins 2-6. Rams 4-4. Rams scoring 21 a game. Dolphins scoring 15. Rams. By the way, everything in yellow is what they're winning. But I'm kind of awful in that there a little bit. Way off shit. Rams put up 328 yards a game. Dolphins. Look at the Dolphins, though. What the... Yeah, Dolphins rushing 133 yards a game. Who'd have thunk it? Rams only rushing 97. But Rams a +2 in the turnover differential. Dolphins a -3. Where it gets... SpaghettiOs. What the fuck did I do here? I have really fucked this up. Okie dokie. What the fuck did I do, y'all? I thought I had another slide for defense. Do I not? Did I just download the same? Oh, it's slide 1. What? Oh, what? Shit. Shit. Oh, here we go. I'll just change this here. Oh, I didn't drag it in, huh? Oh, somebody's fancy. Here we go. Alrighty then. There we go. There's your defensive matchups. Dolphins giving up 23 a game. Rams giving up 24. Dolphins only allowing 303 yards a game. Rams allowing 360. Dolphins giving up 120 in the rushing game. 183 in the passing game. Rams giving up 225 in the passing game. Rams have 17 sacks on the season. Dolphins have 20. So like I said, Dolphins definitely the better defense. So if it were me, looking at what they each allow rushing wise and passing wise, I'd probably go Tyreek Hill. But, well, I don't know. The quarterback play. Yeah, I'd probably go Tyreek Hill. All right. Yeah. We got to do a shot, and then we're out. It's birthday time, bitches. What the shit? Where is it? Yeah, baby. I didn't get to go to the party. I was so disappointed. Ugh. I had lumps in it. Happy birthday to my dog, my guy, my man, Walt. Walt, homie. I'm sorry I didn't get to go hang out. My pal, my buddy, my man. It looked like fun, though. Hooligan was there. Who all was there? I'm going to go see the photo again. They were posting pictures on the interwebs. Let's see. Hooligan was there. No, it wasn't. Let's see. Tweetar. They tagged me all. I see Walt, I see Sid, I see Total Dallas, I see Hooligan, I see my sweet, sweet Donna. Who else am I missing? Cece was there. I don't see her in the picture though. I can't make out. There's somebody else in there I can't make out. But hey man, Walt, brother man, it's so good to have you back in the mix. Cheers to you, fam. I hope you had a great birthday, man. I hope it was the best. And I hope you got some roadhead. Not while you were working, though. But no, for real. It wasn't really a planned party, but it kind of turned into one. Oh, that's the best. Oh, that's the best. That's even better, man. But I hope you got some roadhead or, a hand job or whatever it is you're into. Probably some really weird shit, homie. Happy birthday, too, man. Love you, bud. Cheers. We didn't even get into a bunch of the games, like the Bama LSU game. Walt's not 85. Shut up, Simpus. He's 83, asshole. Whew, shit. Happy birthday, Walt. It looked fun, though, man. It really did. Josh got some badass photos. Good times had by. Where was that at? Where did y'all go for the birthday? Where was that at? I don't know. Alex said happy birthday, Walt. Sorry, I couldn't make it. You lazy bum. You lazy bum. Nobody's gonna tell me where it was? Well, screw all of y'all. Oh, Kirby. Oh, nice. Very nice. I like. All right, y'all. We're not gonna get to the part because I gotta piss so bad. Hey, man. Hey, man. Happy birthday, Walt. Love you, buddy. Listen, guys. Y'all. What is this? That's some dates I want to run by you. Oh. Okay. That's it. We got to go. Enjoy Monday Night Football. That's the show. It's 5 o'clock on the dot. I'm about to piss my pants, and I refuse to do that. Y'all enjoy the Monday Night Football. Thanks for hanging out with me. As always, it's very much appreciated. Thanks to all the Patreon members down there, wherever. And I will see y'all tomorrow. Come hang out with me. We're going to talk about Monday Night Football. We'll finish up recapping some NFL and the college football. We'll get into, what the playoff picture might look like. We'll do some power rankings in the NFL. We'll maybe talk some basketball, get a little hockey in, perhaps. Hell, I don't know. We'll get crazy with it. Plus, we didn't even do any videos today. We had the comedy talk, and you guys seemed to enjoy that, so we ran with it a little bit. But we'll maybe do some of those videos as well. All right? All right. Until I see you tomorrow. Thank you, Uriel. Love you, Walt. Thank you, Mark. Thank you, Flip. Appreciate you, buddy. Yes, Mark. Happy Veterans Day, everybody. My bad. I forgot I'm even growing the beard out for No Shave November because at the end of the month, we roast my face. Don't forget. No, it's not harder to piss yourself in skinny jeans. It's just as easy. All right, I will see you guys tomorrow. Do me 3 favors until then. Be safe. Be kind. And most importantly, love each other. See you tomorrow, everybody. Love you, CC. Bye. Hey, appreciate you, old man in Seattle. And he's making a YouTube video.